Alright guys, we got a lot to go over today. We're going to be doing some news as well as our next movie and our top 10 movies on our Netflix horror queue. But sit back, relax, because it's time for another episode of Recently Added with your host, David Baugh. Alright Netflixers, welcome back. We have been experiencing a few sound issues. It's been kind of weird. It's not really affecting everybody. I think we've gotten to the bottom of this. If you're still experiencing any problems, please let me know in the comments below. That way we can get it solved for everybody and kind of move forward from there. Thanks so much for the people on r/editors on Reddit there. You guys have been super helpful. Hopefully this is it. Netflix did just launch a new movie trailer. Definitely one you're going to want to check out. It's for Ridiculous 6. It looks like it's going to be pretty ridiculous, as the name kind of says there. Adam Sandler is the star of this one. He's not been super great the last few movies that I've seen him in. Overall, I really like his work. I've been a huge fan of his career so far. Definitely something that I'm going to check out. It has a huge cast. Will Forte's in it, Steve Zahn, who's awesome, Terry Crews. I mean, they spend a great deal of the trailer just going over the names of people that are going to be in this, which is usually a good sign. It looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. I guess we'll all just hope for the best. T-Mobile just announced that they're going to be giving a 0 rating to Netflix, which basically means that they're not going to factor in Netflix streaming into their data caps. But I do have a problem with the way that they're doing this. That's effectively a fast lane. The problem is that it creates an unlevel playing field. Netflix themselves probably wouldn't have gotten started under circumstances like this because they now have an unfair advantage in the marketplace. Anybody else that's going to try and make a streaming service like Netflix is now going to have to overcome that. Basically, well, if I go watch Netflix, then everything is free. If I go watch your service, then I have to pay for it. So that limits the amount of access that people are going to get to their audience, which is a problem. Now, I do like that they, like I said, that they are going and they're kind of taking a step towards making it easier for them. They may get into some problems with these new FCC regulations, but I guess only time will tell. Hopefully they figure out a better way to do this. I really like that that's something that they're thinking about, but I think that it should be executed in a different manner. But now that we've got that out of the way, it's time to move on to our next movie and our top 10 movies on the Netflix horror queue. For this episode, I'm going with The Omen.
Gregory Peck, Lee Remick, The Omen. If this is the truth, where does it end?
It's a classic. Basically, if Rosemary's Baby had grown up, it would be this movie. It's about a politician that adopts a little boy. His son dies the day that he was born, and they're like, oh, we have this other baby though, so I mean you could just take that one and nobody would care, which is kind of unusual. But he ends up taking the baby in his grief, and as they're raising the child, they start to realize that he is in fact the Antichrist. As far as story goes, I'll absolutely give them the point. They did a great job of not really feeding the audience everything. You can see the effects of the things happening, but you don't really see them happening. Everything's supernatural. It all sort of points to Damien, the Omen child there, but it's definitely something that happened because of him. And that's the problem.
Hey, Damien, it's all for you.
In terms of pacing, I'm not going to give this one the point. I have seen this movie before, but one thing that I really wanted to bring to this series when I was starting is that I don't want to review a movie that I haven't seen all the way through and that I haven't seen recently. Because a lot of times, especially with old movies like this, you see them, you know, when you were a kid, maybe they're good, maybe they're bad. So I wanted to rewatch this. It took me several tries though, which was the problem. The beginning is very slow and I fell asleep a few times. Like I watched it through the third time, but that definitely speaks to the pacing not being all the way there. If it was all the way there, I would be enraptured with the whole movie all the way through, and I wouldn't be looking at my watch, I wouldn't be falling asleep, that sort of thing. That's a problem. In terms of acting, I am going to give it the point. I loved Gregory Peck in To Kill a Mockingbird. He was great in this. They got a bunch of really good actors, really weird sorts of occurrences happening around them, and even the supporting cast was great. Some of the very minor characters that are only in there for a little bit did fantastic performances in this. In terms of cinematography, this movie is very polished. The little details are fantastic, like the house is perfect. I mean, the little things that they did to kind of make this come to life are great. It's just really well shot. In terms of execution, I'll absolutely give it the point. This movie had a whole lot of problems during production that they had to overcome in order to get to this point. 2 of the people involved in this movie had their planes struck by lightning as they were trying to go through. I mean, I think one of the special effects guys, it was his girlfriend or his wife, got decapitated in a car accident.
Was it an accident? Was it murder? Was it a coincidence? Or was it an omen?
Huge sorts of problems that were surrounding this set, and they did a tremendous job of not only overcoming those problems, but kind of like it sort of incorporates it into a whole thing about this movie. I mean, when people were going in and they were hearing all about this and they were seeing it in theaters for the first time, it was a scary movie. It holds up now, but it's not... I think watching it when it first came out would have been better because of the aura that it came out. Sort of like the Blair Witch Project. You could rewatch the Blair Witch Project and it's good. But when it came out, people thought it was real. And that was the thing. With the Omen, it was just a whole lot of serious accidents befalling them. People would have read about this all the way up to it. And it definitely shows that sort of feeling in the movie, which I liked. So overall, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 stars. Absolutely a classic, absolutely one you want to check out. But that's all I had for you guys this time. It was a pleasure as always, and thank you so much for watching.